did you become a pirate?
How did I become a pirate? Well, I actually don't really know. It just came to me. Actually, the pirate theme was just a lucky shot. We just wanted to make a conference or a get together for people that are entrepreneurs and that really have this urge to be an entrepreneur and don't do it for the money or don't do it for maybe I go into investment banking or I want to become an entrepreneur, but I really want to create something, maybe change the world, this typical thing. And I would say that's something that I have had since I was a young kid probably. I always wanted to become independent. I wanted to become an entrepreneur, and eventually that's how I ended up. The pirate theme is just a theme that we took based on Mike Arrington's blog post, "Are You a Pirate?" That's where it was inspired from, and it turned out to be a very fitting theme, I think.
So at first you had the fear, like all entrepreneurs have at the beginning. How did you cope with that? I mean, every entrepreneur has this.
I did not have it at first that much because I had nothing to lose. If you don't have much, you have nothing to lose. That's actually I mean, I didn't have a lot of money. I didn't have fame, or didn't have anything. Nobody knew me really in the startup community, so I could just start and just try something. Now I certainly have more to lose. I have a family now. I have 2 kids, and
Are they pirates?
my kids actually are pirates. They have pirate clothes from time to time, and they attend every pirate summit. Yeah, absolutely. And I hope that they will have some kind of entrepreneurial spirit and also want to do something, have this urge to do something in the world. But now I don't know if I would really start from scratch again. I think now I have more fear than when I started out, and because I have much more to lose, right? I mean, when I started, I had a bit of money earned, a couple thousand euros, which I put everything into my startup, just like in poker, all in, right? And if I would have lost everything, it wouldn't matter because I would just start again. Now I think my wife wouldn't be so happy if I would put all the money into one startup. Now I do a little bit of angel investment, but that's only money on the side. So I think I would play it more safe now, and that's not always a very good trade. If you're an entrepreneur, you also have to take risks. So I don't know if I would be able to do the crazy disruptive thing. I think I'm too old for this. Probably it might be.
So from now on, you don't plan to start something new, or?
No, I think I would. I probably would take on financing. So I would probably take the safe route, probably. So, but I will always be an entrepreneur. Don't get me wrong. Always. And what will always stick is the entrepreneurial roller coaster that everybody's in. That you have your ups and downs, and you have really hard times, the glorious times, the successful times. And everybody that has been there knows that it's from one day it's this, next day it's that, and then it's this again. But we're talking about fear, right? I mean, the roller coaster will always remain. But I've been very. I did not very risk friendly, let's say. I just took the risk, and it didn't matter. That's a little less right now.
What is the most important thing for a startup, and what would you recommend to young entrepreneurs right now?
I would recommend to young entrepreneurs to just do it and just start. Don't think too long. Just do it and just start. And I would, especially just with the thing that I just said, I think it's important to start early. I think it's important that people don't start when they're in their 30s, family building up, stuff like that. I think it's important that if you are in the university, it's probably the best time to start a startup. I know in the US there's a lot of discussion that you need college anymore, but I think it's very good for personal development. Startup is good as well for personal development, certainly. So I would just really recommend start if you have the urge, or at least think about doing something. Then at least try. I mean, you have hardly anything to lose. It's so cheap right now to start a startup, and you just have to put in your time, and you have to put in a lot of time. It's absolutely fine, but you will learn a lot, and it will definitely be worth it because you'll meet great people, and maybe this idea will fail, but the next one might succeed, or the third one will certainly be something with good chance of survival or maybe even success.
How can you judge whether something is good or bad? I mean, you face a lot of ideas every day.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, you can't. I think truly disruptive things. I wouldn't be. I mean, it's just nobody has a clue. Actually,
Is it
I think
intuition?
it's yes. I always care, and I'm not alone. I mean, most investors do probably. I care about a team very, very much. I want to feel and see that this person is an entrepreneurial person, that this person has this urge and has this fire burning, this passion burning for doing that. It's not just after the money. It's not an opportunistic person. It's a person that has persistence, that can also cope with hard times. These are things that I'm looking for. A creative person, somebody who sees a problem and wants to do something about that. So with a lot of initiative. Of course, I care about the market. Of course, I care about the business models and stuff like that. But I think a lot of things can go wrong there, which a good team will be able to fix, or will be able to change to a close-by model or something.
What do you think about women entrepreneurship?
Too little. I think. I don't think too little of it, but there's definitely too few women around. We see that at the Pirate Summit very much so. We had the first Pirate Summit in 2011. We wanted to also bring women in, and especially say, okay, how can we create an atmosphere for that also women want to come. Of course, you have these panels with women there, which is actually quite unusual to have because then you treat them as a minority. You give them a space. So we're not doing that anymore. But it's really tough to approach women actually, and
As always.
yeah, or no, it's it's true. But I actually wanted to say something slightly different. It's hard that women come into the tech scene. I'm not quite sure why that is. There might be some theories, but in Cologne especially, what we see is that are a lot of women entrepreneurs that go into the co-working scene. So actually, the people that are building up co-working spaces, they're often women. So these social spaces, and that is one thing where we see more women coming in. It's not the place where I would love to see more women coming into tech startups, because I would also imagine that tech startups would do a different job if women would be running the show, or would be at least part of the founder team. I have very high image of women entrepreneurs. I think definitely too few. That there are definitely too few. Yeah.
Do you think that they're not risky? I mean, women as a whole. Is that the problem? Why are they so few?
I don't think that's really an issue. I wouldn't be able to say, but to say that women aren't risky enough, I wouldn't agree. I think it's more about the scene. Also, the scene needs to be more welcoming towards women, probably, and also the image of this hacker dude that sits somewhere, or this geek that sits somewhere all night. That's just not a very appealing image, maybe for a woman. But I don't think there's a huge difference between risk taking between men and women. Men, what I tend to see is men sell themselves often more aggressively than women do. That's what I tend to see, and women have much more charm though in selling them.
And our last question is the name of our media is New Trends. What are the new trends for you nowadays?
The new trends. I'm not really an analyst. I can just say what is happening right now. Of course, we have this whole thing about big data and stuff like that, which has been big. If you really want to see about trends that maybe 2 months ago people wouldn't have written about, it's certainly what I would hope or would expect or would come is everything after Prism. I think that will change the landscape quite a bit. And I think also the whole community needs to be aware that a lot of stuff is going on there, a lot of stuff that is not in line with at least what I would consider a free society. And this is my only political statement today. And I think that there are a lot of entrepreneurial opportunities in that space now. So we're talking about data security, encryption, stuff like that, your private cloud, whatever that means, whatever that could be. But I think we cannot even imagine the impact that these revelations will have on not only how people behave. I think that will happen as well. People will not change from today to tomorrow, but if there are other options, it might have an impact on the companies like Google and Facebook, etc. And it will certainly have an impact on society as a whole. I absolutely agree with that. I think that.
Inspired someone to going to become trend, in your opinion?
I mean, we are a movement. We want to grow virally, and we grow as fast as people like us, or maybe even love us. And maybe it will become a trend, but it's not about the Pirate Summit at all. It's we are doing this because we want to bring forward, or we want to enable entrepreneurship. We want to celebrate entrepreneurs, and we want to foster innovation. That's why we're doing that. If we are doing a good job, great. If somebody else is doing the same job, it's also absolutely fine. I hope people will take something from that mindset and really go for it. Start their own company, do something, and just try something out, and maybe create jobs and create wealth and create value. And I think the society as a whole would be better off if we have more people like that who just go out there and do stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Koelman, for sharing your knowledge. It's a big goal for our media side. Thanks.